This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Through the night, deep in the heart of Texas, the trailer park is nice and dark. Deep in the heart of Texas, Cat drinks his brew and he spits his chew. Deep in the heart of Texas, the TV blares but no one cares. Deep in the heart of Texas, here we go.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
You are. Rusty, we are at season 5, episode 18, or
production
in the year of our
number,
Lord,
yeah.
5 ABE 18.
Yeah, it's got different production numbers for sure.
Yeah. But I think it's important to keep up with those.
Yeah, I do too.
Because
like
this one,
the
honestly,
this
is 19, not 18.
Yeah, this
5
is 19,
ABE 19.
5
yeah,
ABE
okay.
19.
That's the one. So,
and actually, this is the trouble with Gribbles.
Yeah,
which is there's an episode of
Trek.
the original Star Trek called "The Trouble with Tribbles."
Yep.
Which Tribbles are the
those little poof ball things.
coming after. I mean,
it's
one of the corniest,
it is one of the
like
dumbest,
bad guys.
episodes. Yeah.
Well, speaking of space,
it's really bad.
I watched a really unsettling space movie,
Yeah, what's that?
Interstellar.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, well, I've seen it before, but
Yeah.
I never just watched it. I guess when I was watching, I was kind of passively watching it instead of actively watching it.
Sure.
So I watched it again today, and I don't know. That's just a really unsettling movie, I think.
It is an unsettling movie. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's almost like almost in the thriller category.
Yes.
Christopher Nolan did a great job. I was reading about it too.
I don't know how Christopher Nolan does anything. It's not a thriller.
It was scientifically accurate to the T almost.
I don't doubt that.
From what I understand, he had some top level physicist, Kip something or another, that was working on it with him.
I haven't seen Oppenheimer, but I'm assuming that one's the same way. Like right down to the last detail.
Yeah, I heard that's really good. I haven't
I
seen
need
that.
to
It's
watch it.
I don't know. I got to break that up into like 3 or 4 different pieces because it's a really long movie.
Well, not only that, I got to be in the mood for it. You know,
I got to be in the mood for that long of a movie. I don't ever watch a full movie anyway. I watch about 30 minutes of it, and then I come back to it like 2 days later, watch the next 30 minutes.
Here's my problem. We sat down last night after I was done doing some work and stuff, and she was done, and we ate leftovers, which we had so many leftovers. For 2 people in the house, we have so many leftovers. Anyway, we sat down to watch Argyle, that movie on Apple Plus with ex-Superman. And I thought it was okay. It's way over the top, right? So there's a lot of computer animation and stuff. Oh, shit, what's his name? I can't remember his name. I never can. He is the guy that was in... I'm just going to look it up because I can't do this with this sitting in my brain. It is Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
I can't get enough of Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell is one of my all-time favorites.
I like him. Yeah, he's the one that was in he's the one, Billy or whatever his name was, that was pissing on prison guards in Green Mile, right?
Yeah.
That's Sam Rockwell.
Well,
I really like him too. I think he's a phenomenal
Hitchhiker's
actor,
Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, he was in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
He always plays weird characters.
I don't know. My favorite character of his still is probably the Green Mile.
Yeah.
He played. I don't know. That was
such a dick.
He did a really, really, really good job.
Very
on the role.
accurate to the book.
Oh, the Green Mile.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very accurate to the book
for sure. Yeah, he was maybe even downplayed him a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Trouble with Gribbles. We start out at Channel 84 with Luanne on the stage. She is talking to her manger babies.
The manger babies.
All right, manger babies. We're on right after the weather report. So if anyone has to go to the bathroom, tell me now. And then she takes the little donkey and goes, ee-yaw. I didn't understand that interaction at all, because are you telling me that Luanne really thinks these things have to go to the bathroom or are alive?
I don't know.
Or is she just fooling around?
She's just fooling around.
Okay, all right.
Come on.
Because if she thinks they're alive,
sure
we got
she's
problems.
Maybe she anthropomorphizes them for her trauma. Maybe she talks to them.
Could be.
It's like an imaginary friend kind of thing.
What is it, that fork that was sticking into, or her mom attacked her dad with a fork?
Yeah,
right?
Or it's like a dog that follows you around all the time, and you're like, hey, let's go to the bathroom. The dog's not going to hike its leg up and piss while you're in there, but it's going to sit at your feet or something while you're taking a dump or whatever.
So we see Nancy standing in front of a blue screen instead of a green screen. She's giving the weather, just like she always does. It says, well, it looks like the storm brewing in Big Bend will miss Heimlich County and plan a big sloppy kiss at the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Sorry, Big D. Now, when she did that, I took a picture.
Okay.
If you look at this picture, there's no real, like, where Arlen is.
Yeah, there's not at all.
So I'm going to show that. I don't know if you can see it or not. But
yeah, we don't know if you can see it or not.
Dallas-Fort Worth is one big dot, and then literally right here, I'm assuming that dot is Arlen.
If that dot is Arlen,
it's Waco.
That would be...
It's basically Waco.
It might be Waco. Maybe Hillsboro.
Yeah, could be Hillsboro. Yeah. Anyway, it's just really interesting. Every time I see something that maybe kind of tells me where Arlen is, I'm very interested in it. All right, so
we're can we see your map again?
Oh yeah, sure.
We're cross-referencing maps here. I think
mine's just a cartoon.
I think we might
sure.
be in like Stephenville actually.
Oh yeah.
See, so
Stephenville actually kind of makes sense.
Stephenville, Granbury, like in this line, it could be anywhere. So are they saying that?
I love how we're taking this as fact. Like
we're taking
the map
it as fact,
from a cartoon.
So are they trying to say that it's almost Metroplex? Because Weatherford, Granbury, Burleson, I mean, they're not in Dallas, but you're pretty close.
I think they're just saying Central Texas, basically,
Texas,
right? Because
maybe Comanche.
Well, it could be.
Comanche's further
because
down
she says. Storm brewing in Big Bend, so that's where it starts. Will miss Heimlich County,
which Big Bend is down here in the south,
and plant a big sloppy kiss on the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Oh, okay.
So it gives you an idea where that storm's going. At least
look at that.
Yeah, I know. You look out the window here; it's just fog.
And I don't know if it's because we're high up
or
not. Does
it also
look like
doesn't
that on the ground.
It also doesn't help that we have those things on the windows. You know
the tent on.
Yeah, we have the tent on the window. See, it's not quite as bad over here.
Well, no, it still looks.
It's still pretty damn foggy. It was just like mist outside. It was just mist. Okay,
we've got weather going.
She finishes with that. Says, "Sorry, Big D." Burl, who is the station manager, I guess, director or whatever. He says, "Thanks, Nancy." On a personal, oh no, I'm sorry. He's the anchor man. He says, "Thanks, Nancy." On a personal note, I'll be on vacation next week, so Nancy, I'd like to be the first to wish you a happy 40th birthday.
So she's younger than everybody else.
Nancy does not like that.
She's got to be younger than everybody else then. Cause
you would think so, yeah.
Hank and them are like 45, 46 from the math that we've been able to do from what they tell us. So she's 5 years younger than Dale and Hank and everybody.
I still don't understand that relationship, but okay.
Yeah, I don't either.
She goes, "Why, thank you, Burl," and she tries to cover up the happy 40th on the big blue screen behind her because she's just embarrassed.
Yeah.
The Burl continues for 40-year-old Nancy Hicks Gribble. I'm not sure why he had to point out.
Yeah, for 40-year-old.
For 40-year-old Nancy Hicks Gribble on weather and Don Ringle on sports. This is Burl Arlington bidding you good night and God bless.
Aren't those weather names? Isn't that like not weather, but like broadcasting names?
Oh yeah, Burl Arlington.
And the name's Burl Arlington.
Burl Arlington.
With the weather and the news.
Well, there's a guy here. Oh shoot, who was it? There's a guy here in town, and if you're listening to this, I really like you, man, but your name fits perfectly for news. Justin Early. Justin Early.
Yeah, Justin Early.
That's his name, yeah. Okay. I don't know if that's a pen name or what, but anyway, it's a great news name. All right, so the lights fade down. The director says, and clear. You can see Luanne starting to move in the Manger Babies set. Dale walks up. "Hey, beautiful, prepare yourself to be whisked away. I'm taking you to La Grunta Resort for a birthday weekend you will not forget." I love that they bring up La Grunta every once in a while. You know, co-workers are back there kind of staring at Nancy and Dale. She doesn't want them looking. She goes, "I think I'd rather celebrate my birthday quietly at home." "Too late. Your credit card is already billed." And he dips her like he's dancing with her or something. He goes, "Now, let's go pamper you." The next thing we see, they're at La Grunta Inn and Resort.
In a big mud.
They are both
mud
in
hole.
a big mud bath.
Yeah, they're mud holing.
Of course, Dale has his hat on and a cigarette going, even though he's covered in mud.
Most often.
Dale says, the odd thing is I hate dirt, but I love mud. It starts to kind of rain, and then it rains real hard, and then it starts to hail. Nancy says, oh, it's hailing. I got to get back to the station. This is sweeps-worthy weather. And Dale just she leaves in a hurry. Dale stays in the mud as the hail is hitting him, just going, ow, ow, ow.
Yeah.
Just ow, ow.
Yeah, he's not doing much.
All right, so we're back at the station with Senior, what do you call him? What's his name? The priest guy that fights everybody in the TV shows.
I don't. Oh,
Senor Martinez. Senor.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Pastor Martinez.
Anyway, he's on the screen playing. There's no sound. The director is kind of looking out the window, and he goes, "Our weather watcher in Rumpert says the hail is now dodgeball size. We got to go live." He's on the phone talking to somebody. He sees Luanne across, and it's always this way with these guys. She bends down. He sees her ass.
Yeah.
He has an idea, and he goes, "You puppet girl, can you read?" And I mean, that's his.
That's terrible.
That's his whole interaction.
Assuming she can't read.
Well, there's two things in this episode that are a little problematic. That's the first
one of them. Yeah, that's definitely one of them.
Now we get Luanne standing in front of the weather in the blue screen where she's doing the weather, and it says, "And National Weather Service predicts the storm will slow down." She goes, I'm sorry. She goes, the service predicts the storm will slow down. The words are going too fast. She's talking about the teleprompter.
The teleprompter words, yeah.
The cameraman looks at the director and goes, damn it, she's wearing blue. And then it shows the screen, and she's got this dress on. It's all blue, except it has this white yoke right here that comes up over her boobs.
Yeah.
When she's on screen, all you can see is her head and her boobs. That's it. And so the
green screen got her, yeah.
So the creepy-ass director goes, it's a good color on her.
What's that called, chroma keying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good color on her. And she continues, anyways, it's going to keep raining. What weather person just says anyways? Anyways, it's going to keep raining and hailing and thundering and lightning for a while. So hug your babies tight.
Hug your babies.
Uh-huh. All these guys are sitting there watching the monitor, and they just have the creepiest looks on their face. Like
a bunch of old pervs.
Oh, they're pervs. And she says, and back to you, Mr. Arlington. And then you see Nancy come in through the door. She is like almost blown away. Her umbrella's all screwed up. She's just drenched.
Oh, yeah, she looks rough.
Luanne throws it to Burl.
Rough.
Burl says, call me Burl, which, again, Burl's a creep. Luanne says, oh, Burl. Nancy, behind the scenes, says, I got here as fast as I could, Tom. I'm ready to go on. I guess Tom is the station director.
Yeah, he's the station director, yeah.
He says, hey, Nancy, we're going to shake things up a little bit. And then you see another picture of Luanne and her boobs on the screen. I'm making you the late-night weekend weather girl. Luanne is going to take over the
late-night weekend weather girl.
Late-night weekend weather girl. Luanne is going to take over the morning weather slot. Nancy's just super dejected when she hears that news because she knows
like that. Yeah, well,
everything's going through her head.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing in TV. Though it's about how good you can look.
Oh, absolutely.
for women anyway,
Absolutely.
or at least used to be that
for
way.
women. Yeah,
I don't think it's like that anymore. But it used to be that way.
I think it's still pretty damn close. The thing. So I get up every morning.
Robin on Good Morning America. You think she got by on good looks? I thought she got by on her talent.
She has a lot of talent. She worked for ESPN for a long time.
Oh, she was on ESPN?
She also had a...
See, I didn't know she was on ESPN. I just know her from Good Morning America. She's been on Good Morning America
since
I was a little kid. Yeah.
She had a big cancer scare.
Yeah, she did. She did have that.
So she has a lot of history there. And I think she's kind of ingrained. People like her. They know her from different parts of TV.
Diane Sawyer, she's been attractive.
Diane Sawyer was...
Barbara Walters has never been attractive.
Hard-ass news reporter.
Same with Barbara Walters,
I'm just saying, if you get
I guess there's always an exception to the rule.
Well,
right?
I'm just saying actresses,
yeah.
When they start to get older,
yeah.
everybody's doing that Ozempic and all that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And then weather girls and stuff like that. They
got this new thing they're calling Ozempic face.
Yeah, with the big long face.
Where people's faces all drawn out like they're on...
You get the horse face.
Crack.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
That Ozempic craze,
All these people just they were all in on something that really is kind of untested. You know, they just like, oh yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah,
that shows you how bad people want to look good. By the way, I get up every morning and I watch the news because our buddy Pete Souza's on it, and
he does the morning news, doesn't he?
Yeah, I got to tell you, the news. I watch it on the weekend also because the other girl's on it, and the news is
Klumbar, however you say it, or she just got
Allie
an award.
Allie
Cadlabar.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know Allie. I forgot your name for a second. But the news now is
sorry, I didn't mean to
it's like
interrupt
80% weather.
Oh, it is?
It's every time you turn around, there's weather.
Well, I think the whole world's turned into 70-year-old men. I like the weather a lot. I actually, I used to, I still do sometimes, but I used to create content on a page. I used to have a separate Facebook page. I don't have it anymore, but it was called Bell Mead's Favorite Weatherman, and I would do Central Texas weather updates. And I would just go to a random field, and I'd stand in a random field, and I would say, reporting live here from the field, but instead of the field, I would say I'm reporting live from a random field here in Central Texas.
That's actually pretty good, Rusty. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it was fun. I used to have a lot of fun with it. I used to always have like a little funny disclaimer. I am not a real weatherman.
Yeah.
Please don't take any of this.
Yeah. I'm not a meteorologist.
Yeah.
But I play one on TV.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back at the Gribble house. Dale is on the toilet for some reason, wearing a towel only. But he's got his hat and cigarettes, of course. Nancy's looking in the mirror, and she's just really worried about aging here. She goes, I used to think these lines gave me integrity as a weather journalist. Weather journalist.
I like that. I like how she circumnavigated what she really was. Right. I like that. Weather journalist. That's what I'm a weather journalist, Mike.
She goes, you're a freelance weather journalist.
Yeah,
That's
there
right.
you go.
She says, but who am I kidding? They're just wrinkles. Dale says, I blame the mirror. Then he lights up a cigarette. Because I've seen a mirror turn an ordinary man 10 feet tall, and another turn the same man 3 feet short. That man was me. I love how the experience that he has with mirrors is all based on a carnival or something. You know?
It was based on
just
a carnival.
A house of mirrors. Sure. Nancy says, I am getting old, Dale, and I am in a younger, prettier business. Oh, God, I need a facelift or a time machine. You see Dale just kind of, just really enjoying his cigarette here. And she coughs a little bit. She goes, and your smoking is not helping. Cigarettes are hell on skin. Dale,
I can't quit.
Dale gets up for this one and goes, I can't quit. It seems like there ought to be more there. But, all right. So we see the Bugabago parked in a strip mall. The only businesses you can see in the strip mall are A Better You, which is where they're at.
A Better You.
CM Pagers. So that's how long this was.
Pagers.
Yeah, and then coffee, donuts.
They still have pagers in 2002 or whatever this episode came out. People still have pagers in 2002. If you had a pager in 2002, please, email us if you know how.
Send your carrier pigeon too.
Yeah.
So Nancy is laying down on the table. The doctor is standing there, marking on her face with like a red marker or something. You know how they do.
Yeah, she's at a plastic surgeon.
Facelift,
facelift
but
type.
it's in a strip mall, so it's a really good one. Yeah,
really good one. Highly reputable.
Dale says, what do you think, Dr. Mark Selden? I love the fact that he uses his whole name. Can you take care of my baby? The doctor says, absolutely, I am very good. I mean, what a hell of a statement there.
Yeah, that's instills a lot of confidence.
Absolutely, I am very good.
I am the best. I'm only the best.
Nancy said, I guess you want a doctor like that, though. I mean, you want a doctor who, number one, plays God. Yeah. Number two, knows they're the best. Or thinks they are, at least. Nancy says, I just want to look like me 20 years ago. Dale says, what's the facectomy going to run us? Doctor says, $5,000. Dale, of course, not thinking anything through before he says it, says, it'll take us 20 years to save that kind of money, and then you'll have to make her look 40 years younger, and we'll never be able to afford that. And you just see Nancy, and she's just like super dejected. Yeah. Bless you.
Oh, excuse me.
All right, now we're in the alleyway with all four guys. So we got Hank, Bill, Dale, and Boomhauer. Hank says, why would Nancy want a facelift? There's nothing wrong with the face God gave her. That sounds like my grandfather.
Yeah.
Dale says, I'm with you, but my baby gets what my baby wants. There is no procedure, however gruesome I could ever deny her. Bill says, how are you going to pay for it? Are you taking Dale's dead bug public? What?
publicly
how
trade.
Bill thinks things work?
Bill's wild.
You just go
that
up
was
and
a
take it
wild
public.
statement.
Yeah. Dale says, good idea, but nope. I filed a $5,000 suit in small claims court against one Reynolds Pendlin, chairman and CEO of the Manitoba Tobacco Corporation. I will allege that secondhand smoke from his fine product has wrinkled my wife, jeopardizing her job because she is unattractive to weather watchers and her marriage because she is unattractive to me. Woo! God almighty.
That was a mouthful.
Hank, of course, being the voice of reason. You know who you ought to be suing is the Arlen school system. How one of their graduates could come up with a plan this dumb is beyond me. He goes, no, my plan is brilliant. I could be suing those cigarette moguls for billions. They will never show up in court and say to save a measly $5 large. They pee wine that costs more than that. They pee wine.
They pee wine.
I will get a default judgment.
Biscayne.
And, of course, Bill says, oh, brilliant. You know, Bill.
Yeah, people were doing that though, weren't they?
Oh yeah,
suing cigarette companies back in the day. Yeah,
that
there's this book.
That was kind of your slip and fall.
Yeah, there's this book that I read that kind of talked about the
slip.
tobacco companies and like the early beginnings of tobacco farming, and then how they became like these big, huge monopolies.
It started with slaves, number one.
Well, it started with slaves.
Yeah,
but actually, it predates even slaves. It was.
I'm sure.
It was. They started growing it, and then they were like, "Oh, well,
the Indians cultivated it too, right?
We need a large labor force for this," and then slaves came into play. But it's crazy how they just started out as just these farmers out there farming some tobacco.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that about any food company or any kind of company that does anything. But
look at this little stand you got.
It is menacing.
Yeah,
I
new?
bought it. Yeah, it's new. Yeah,
a little pink stand. Nice.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be pink. It was
That's
supposed to be
nice,
black.
That's
But
okay.
it came
I
in
like
as
it.
pink. I got it off of that
Temu?
that Temu app or whatever it was. Yeah.
It's like $1.
Yeah,
takes
well,
6 weeks to
there's
arrive.
like stuff that actually it only took like a week.
I order stuff from there all the time.
I was just gonna try it out and see if it was worth a damn.
I got a box
and
the
it
other
turned out
day.
to be okay.
I got a box the other day, had like 12 watches in it because they're like $4 a piece or something.
Yeah.
I'll take 12 watches, please. All right, so we're at the Heimlich County Courthouse, and Dale is at the podium for the plaintiff. 4, 3, 2, 1. The dastardly coward didn't show. I will take my money now and skedaddle. The doors fly open. Skedaddle is a very Texas term, right? You've heard people say skedaddle before.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
Skedaddle.
skedaddle. Yeah. The doors fly open in the back of the courtroom. 4 lawyers come like charging in. I mean, they're just like, dun, 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 you know, you can tell they're lawyers. Dale just goes, oh, poo, when he sees them. The first lawyer says, Your Honor, I am Jeremy Toblick, lead counsel for Manitoba Tobacco Corporation and its CEO, Reynolds Pendlin. He hands the judge some papers. The judge kind of laughs a little bit, and he goes, it appears this case has been removed to the federal district court across the street. Dale says, where they will write my check?
Yeah, he's expecting that
still
check.
Trying. Let's go. Judge says, Mr. Gribble, the Manitoba Tobacco Corporation has just countersued you for $1.3 million. Have a nice day in court. And he just bangs the gavel. And then, of course, Dale runs out as he's saying, you weren't supposed to show up. It just screwed up his whole plan.
Screwed his whole plan.
Because they actually
He
showed
just thought
up.
he was going to get a default settlement.
Oh,
but
my
no,
God.
they're here. $1.3 million, buddy.
Boy, no kidding, right?
It's a lot of money.
They're at the Manitoba corporate building now. You've got Mr. Reynolds Pendlin, which Reynolds Tobacco is the one who owns like Marlboro and all that stuff. So I'm assuming this is a
They
dig.
changed their name again.
It's a dig at this, you know.
They changed. That's the thing with those cigarette companies. They've changed their names a few times down the lines.
Oh, cigarette companies, poison companies,
Pharmaceutical companies,
and then anybody that deals in weapons.
Anybody that's
like
been federally
for the federal
sued.
government.
Yeah, anybody that's been sued
They
federally.
change their name all the time.
Anybody that's been in front of Congress. Well, that's why Facebook was trying to change everything to the Meta.
Oh, yeah.
And
sure.
then X, Twitter to X. And it's
X
just,
is ridiculous. But do you remember the big deal with Roundup?
yeah, there's a class action lawsuit.
Lots of lawsuits, right? Because they were putting cancer in the ground, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you got to think
sprayed-
like my dad was telling me that back in the day they used to ride in the clouds
Oh,
of the
yeah.
DDT trucks.
Oh,
They used to run through the
absolutely.
neighborhoods killing mosquitoes.
Nobody thought anything about it.
Yeah, and that was
Until
all
everybody
made
started
by
dying.
Monsanto, all them chemicals and stuff.
Okay, so that's where I was going, was
'Cause,
Monsanto.
they changed their name.
Well, they didn't change their name. What they did is they sold to another company.
Oh,
So now they're
okay.
Bayer.
Bayer.
Like the aspirin people.
And Bayer is also the same corporation that made Zyklon B gas.
That's exactly right.
Hitler used.
They worked.
The Jews.
They worked for the Nazis. So enjoy getting rid of your weeds via the Nazis.
Yeah, via the Nazis. Well, don't drink Fanta either. Then
God Almighty.
Fanta is also a Nazi creation.
What is
Fanta?
Yeah,
well, because
really?
Yeah, because what happened was the Coca-Cola Corporation was cut off.
Yeah.
From the German part of it was cut off from the rest of the Coca-Cola
so this
factory.
is kind of like the Chinese companies ripping off all the American
they had
companies.
North African. They had a bunch of fruit stuff in North Africa and the North African colonies of Germany.
Sure.
So they imported fruit juices and stuff like that from North African countries into Germany, and they were making Fanta. So that's where you orange Fanta and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was created in Germany. I'm not going to say it was created by the Nazis, but it was created under the Nazi regime at a large corporation. So, yes, I mean, two and two together.
I say we just claim that Fanta was created by Nazis and ride with it until we get a cease and
desist
desist
letter. Well, that's what it says
That's
everywhere.
what I would love
That's what it says everywhere on the internet.
To have that.
Well, it's true. I mean, they can't. It's like saying that the Volkswagen Beetle wasn't made for Nazis, which it was. I mean, it's a
okay. I got something to ask
car.
you. I got something to ask you here in just 1 second.
Right.
So this is Reynolds Pendlin. He obviously is the CEO of this tobacco company. He's kind of staring out the window with his hands behind his back while he talks to the lawyers who are sitting in his office. You know?
Yeah.
He goes, don't underestimate this guy. He's the only customer in our database who has earned every single item in our gift catalog. That is a lot.
That's a lot of gifts.
He says, you got to smoke 90,000 cigarettes just to get the sateen jacket. He goes, now let's be honest. He should be dead by now. So I used to collect the little camel bugs.
Yeah, camel bugs.
And I had a lot of stuff because 3 packs a day
it's a lot.
will get you. It adds up quick. I remember one of the things that I got, and if they ever try to tell you that Camel cigarettes didn't use Joe Camel to appeal to kids, they're liars. Because
Joe Camel was cool as shit.
Well,
I've actually got some old school, like late 90s or early 90s merch. I have a pair of shorts that have Joe Camel on them, and I have a Joe Camel yellow
This
T-shirt.
is the same time, though, that they're selling beer to kids with Spuds McKenzie.
Yeah.
But my point is that with all these bucks that I had, I could get in the little Marlboro catalog, right? Or the Camel catalog.
Camel catalog.
Yeah. I didn't smoke Marlboros. I always smoked Camels. And one of the things in the catalog, which cost probably about 90,000 cigarettes, was a Sega Game Gear.
Oh, yeah.
So, so if they ever tell you that they weren't marketing to kids,
they were marketing to kids, or at the very least marketing to very young adults.
Oh yeah, teenagers, absolutely,
teenagers for sure. Well, that's the thing is my dad remembers, like, I guess he's not much, I mean, he's a little bit older than you, but sure. He remembers when you could smoke. He was like 16 years old in a smoke pit in high school.
Oh, sure.
Smoking cigarettes outside with teachers and stuff like that.
On TV, you had Milton Berle, doing your show of shows with a dancing cigarette package next to him or whatever.
Yeah.
It's always
I guess
been
that's
that
why
way.
the advertisement doesn't allow them to do all that anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
They outlawed even the Marlboro Man and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah. Well, you were on like the 5th Marlboro Man because they all kept dying. Have you ever seen?
I haven't seen that.
Is it Burn After Reading or something like that?
Thank you
for smoking. Or
it's about the Marlboro Man. Right? I haven't seen that. No. But
Sam Elliott.
My friend's uncle, I was working with him for a little while. He had a contract with Philip Morris.
Oh, really?
And he was going around to these gas stations, old gas stations, newer gas stations, and installing new cigarette cabinets. Then while he's doing that, he's got to go in and take out all because they update the advertisement restrictions.
Yeah.
They were updating them often, so the advertisements that were in the stores were considered illegal. So he was going in and pulling out all the old ads and stuff like that. I actually got a bunch of cool stuff from it. I've got 2 of the old stand-up red Marlboro ashtrays and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he was going in and he had to take everything that had Marlboro on it or whatever out, and it was kind of cool because we were finding, like, when we were taking them out, we would find like a pack of cigarettes that like fell behind a cabinet, and there was like an old pack of cigarettes, like a soft pack from like the 70s and stuff like that from Marlboro. So it was kind of cool seeing all that old advertisement. But
some of that stuff is really cool.
They got a new one now that they have, though. They have a sign on the doors anywhere they're selling cigarettes.
that
big, huge sign now that says cigarettes do this, this, and that.
Just, I mean, I understand why they're still around because people make buku money on it,
Not as much.
Well, but
they
politicians are making money.
They say there's
an
uptick in cigarette smoking in young people right now.
Oh, I don't doubt it because they're telling them how bad vapes are.
There was like this huge dip when the vapes came out, but now there's like been an increase in how many kids are smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it's probably, like you said, it's probably because there is no safe alternative. So
there's really not. No,
so they're just
safe alternatives just don't smoke.
Or pop a Zyn.
Pop a what?
A Zyn.
A Zyn.
Have you ever heard of a Zyn?
No.
ZYN. It's tobacco-less nicotine pouches.
Oh,
it's nicotine salt.
I know what you're talking about.
And you just put it in your lip. Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks. So
real big with Carlson Tucker. He pops
Tucker
some
Carlson?
Zins. Or Tucker Carlson. Yeah,
his brother, Carlson Tucker.
Yeah, his brother.
Tucker
Carlson,
so this is Reynolds Penland, the CEO of the Manitoba Tobacco Corporation. He's talking to his lawyers. The last thing he says is, now, let's be honest, he should be dead by now. He's talking about Dale. The other lawyer, Tublick, says, I am not putting you on the stand, which I don't blame him. Another lawyer says, don't worry, we're placing Gribble under electronic surveillance. Now, the main lawyer, Tublick, is quick to say, observation, not electronic surveillance. He says, best case scenario, we can catch Gribble playing lovey-dovey with his wife, destroy his credibility. Penland says, I don't want to know about this. Lawyer says, it can't be tracked back to you. We hired a local PI, and we're paying him out of our snack cake division. That's the other thing. All of these companies, they own shitloads of other companies.
Yeah, that's one thing. Well, that's one thing when I was watching all these like food documentaries and all this stuff that I've watched.
Yeah.
A lot of it is dog eat dog.
Boy,
like the guy who started Pepsi, he had another company that he had started. It was a grocery store, and he used the grocery store money to buy Pepsi. Well, ends up happening, the board kind of finds out, they bring in this like top level accountant to go through everything, and he sees that he had bought that. So he goes to him and says, I now control Pepsi. And they ended up going in and suing that guy and sued him out of Pepsi. And he's the one that like started both. Well, didn't start both companies. He started one and bought the other, but the way he did it was illegal. So the chair now owned all of it. Instead, the chair of the grocery store company ended up owning all of Pepsi.
Freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so we're in Hank's driveway. Hank is washing his truck. Dale runs up real quick. He's panting heavily. He says, the lawyers subpoenaed my records. That's the first step. Second step will be to kidnap everyone I've ever known and erase their memories. Third step will be to kill me. That's a big fast forward.
It's a cigarette company, dude.
Hank says, Dale, they're suing you. They're not going to kill you. He goes, wake up, Hank. These people kill 400,000 of their own satisfied customers every year. Hank says, Dale, do yourself a favor and just drop the case. Maybe they'll go easy on you. He comes around and points at Hank right in the face, which Hank does not like. He goes, how do you know? Maybe they'll go easy on me. They got to you, didn't they, Hank Hill? Or should I say Reynolds Penland? Peel off your fake face, Penland. Come on, peel it off. Like this, from the bottom up. He starts grabbing at the bottom of his face. He touches Hank's face. Hank slaps his hand, and he goes, Penland, you just bought yourself an assault charge. Excuse me. I guess he's convinced that Hank is Penland.
Yeah, he's convinced that he's
Scooby-Doo
Penland. Yeah, in a Scooby-Doo suit. Yeah.
All right. Delivery guy comes to Dale's door. I'm assuming this is the PI they were talking about that they hired.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Dale comes to the door. The guy says, Dale Gribble. He goes, yes! And I don't know why he said it so loud, but he just goes, yes! Yes! He goes, I've got a package for you. He goes, oh, goody, goody. What'd I get? He opens it up. Yeah. It's Smoking Sammy Salmon, the singing Manitoba fish. This is the corporate Christmas present not available to the public. The PI guy just goes, oh, enjoy. And just takes off.
Captain,
so this is like
big mouth Billy Bass.
Big mouth Billy Bass.
He used to sing
Take Me to the River.
Or they had what was the other one on there? Take Me to the River was on there. Here's a little song I wrote.
Yeah. Don't worry, be happy. And that's the one he sings in this, basically, but it's about the cigarettes.
Yeah, but it's the cigarettes instead. Yeah, it's the same tune.
He takes it in and shows it to Nancy. Nancy's not looking good, by the way. She's
leaning into it.
Really
for sure, yeah.
disheveled.
She's leaning into it.
She's in a robe. She looks like a mess. She's just sitting in front of the TV. He said, look, Nancy, it's Smoking Sammy Salmon, the singing Manitoba fish. And don't think that Smoking Sammy Salmon is easy to say, by the way.
It's not. I think that's on purpose. Big mouth Billy Bass. So I guess that's the alliteration thing.
She is watching Luanne do the weather on TV. He goes, wow, Luanne has one hot fudge sundae with two big scoops. What a creep.
Golly.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. Dale, at least, being a creep, he does it out loud.
Yeah, he does.
These other guys, they whisper it.
Nah, Dale puts it out there.
Dale's just like, she's one big hot fudge sundae. He goes, wait, this will cheer you up. And then you hear Luanne on TV go, it's the 5-day forecast. Yeah. And then the fish starts singing, Manitoba is the brand to smoke. You'll enjoy it toke for toke. Don't worry. Keep smoking.
Yeah. Don't worry. Keep smoking. Which now, it is 420, by the way.
Right. That's true. It is today. He sees there's a wire coming out of the little cigarette in the bass.
He got bugged. Yeah. They got a bug in here.
He goes, a bug. And then he realizes that they're listening to him. And he goes, a grotesque flying water beetle, like trying to throw him off. Will you excuse me, Nancy? And then he runs outside as fast as he can. By the way, leaving Nancy on her own. And goes, they're bugging me. My God, I can't.
I can't.
And that is the first commercial break. We'll take that, and we'll be
right back.
Right back.
Snack Attack is a podcast about the history of your favorite snacks, candies, and treats. Each 5-minute or less episode features the history of a great snack from around the world. We'll also visit what the status of the snack is today and give you a little knowledge to lord over your friend. Snack Attack is available anywhere you get your podcast or at roguemedianetwork.com. Let's get snacking.
Step into the unexpected with Cultastic, or How to Start a Cult Without Really Trying. A podcast where cult creation unfolds in the most unpredictable way. Join us on a unique journey into the world of theoretical cult formation. Unlike any other podcast, each episode of Cultastic is co-written in part using ChatGPT, and we let it decide our fate, good or bad. What makes Cultastic truly intriguing? We don't know what's coming each week. Together with our AI co-author, we'll discover and build this cult, one episode at a time, exploring various aspects of cult dynamics, leadership, and group psychology. Delve into themes of charisma, influence, and the power of group thinking. It's a blend of expert analysis, theoretical exploration, and the unforeseen twists of AI-generated ideas. Remember, Cultastic is an exercise in imagination and education where we weave a narrative one episode and one tenant at a time. Curious about where this journey will take us? Subscribe to Cultastic or How to Start a Cult without really trying on your favorite podcast platform or at roguemedianetwork.com. Let's build this mission to save the people of Earth, week by unpredictable week.
All right, and we are back. Dale is bugged at this point, his worst nightmare, right? And he's banging on Bill's door. Bill comes to the door and goes, what? He goes, I'm being bugged. And I mean, he is screaming this. He goes, by the Manitoba Tobacco Corporation. Bill says, was it like when the Norwegian secret police planted a bug in your person? In your person. Not on your person. In your person.
Yeah.
He goes, no, these guys are amateurs to be trifled with. That makes no sense. He goes, in the spirit of Aikido, I will turn their bug against them and feed it a steady diet of strategic disinformation, i.e., I will insult Nancy's appearance so convincingly they will offer me a large out-of-court settlement. And by the way, He puts his hand over Bill's mouth when he starts to speak. He closes the curtain. He turns on loud music. He tries to say stuff to him, and that's why he's yelling it. Bill can't make it out, and so he ends up having to turn the music back down.
I've got a fun fact about Aikido.
Crazy.
So Aikido is actually the martial art that Steven Seagal is a 7th Dan black belt in Aikido. Everybody really thinks he's just like, oh, ha ha ha, it's funny and it's not real. But Steven Seagal is he actually began his adult life as a martial arts instructor in Japan. So he's a real, like, his movies are corny as shit, just like
he's an asshole,
Jean-Claude Van Damme's movies are corny as shit, but they're still like, those guys, the reason what made those movies so appealing is because they were really proficient in the shit that they were portraying.
Oh, sure.
Like Jean-Claude Van Damme in the commercial. Did you see the commercial he did with the two 18-wheelers?
No.
Where he did the splits on top of two 18-wheelers as they were riding down the road kind of thing.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
He is pretty crazy. But Aikido is a martial art and self-defense system that resembles the fighting methods of jiu-jitsu and judo. There's a lot of twisting and throwing and then turning an attacker's strength and momentum against themselves.
None of which Dale can do.
The only thing he could do is put pressure on vital nerve centers. That's all Dale is good at doing.
Maybe.
No, he gets on everybody's nerves.
Bill says
he gets on everybody's nerves.
Bill says, I get it. Nancy will pretend to cry. He goes, no pretending. Nancy's a terrible actress. Remember how her Eliza Doolittle, and then he does air quotes, did little for the critics? So I'm assuming that's the review she got.
Wow.
He goes, for my insults to be effective, Nancy must remain completely in the dark. Her reaction's real and unscripted, like a Dean Martin roast. Now, I had a question for you and Artie because I wrote something down about a character, and I was talking about that Reynolds Penland.
Yeah.
What I wrote down is I thought it was I thought it was who's the guy that hosts the America's Most Unwanted Cases or whatever that thing is called, America's Most Wanted.
Oh, you're talking about.
Anyway, I thought that's who it was. But Artie, I believe, has the actual answer.
Yeah, the actual answer is Robert Stack.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he also, in Beavis and Butthead Do America, he portrayed the Bureau of the ATF agent Fleming in the 1996.
I don't doubt that. Robert
Beavis and Butthead.
So Leslie Nielsen came on the scene as this guy who used to be in like very serious movies, but now he's a straight man that weird shit happens to, right? So that was Airplane. Robert Stack is also in Airplane. Okay. He is one of the pilots, and he is, I think he's the one that gets knocked out.
The pilot that gets knocked out.
I believe that's Robert Stack. Yeah, Robert Stack is the same kind of guy. He was always in like mob movies and noir type films and stuff.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but my favorite scene in that movie is the jive scene where they're talking back and forth. Yeah,
get the meta-sci.
Yeah, that shit's funny.
I love it when they get in line to start slapping the lady to calm her down. Okay, so. Now we're at Dale's. He is lighting a cigarette on the couch. Nancy comes out, and she's got the exact same dress on that Luanne had, the blue with the white yoke on it.
Yeah.
So it shows her boobs off. She goes, I got a new dress for work today. He goes, baby, come here and let me get a good look at you. And by the way, he's speaking into the fish when he says these things.
Yeah, he's talking into the fish.
I love the dress, but what's with the face?
God,
Dale, Jesus.
And he's keeping it. He's keeping it up though. He's doing. I mean,
he means
he
well.
Means
with
well,
this.
but
he's just an idiot.
It's an awful way to go about doing something. Like at least, well, like you said, she's not a good actress. So
that's true.
If he wants to get through this situation, I guess that's how he has to.
So he says,
has to do it. Real rough though, calling your old lady ugly all day.
He goes,
long.
I love the dress, but what's with the face? She goes, what? He goes, I am just saying you might want to get a sky cap to help you with those bags under your eyes. Jesus.
Wow.
And so she cries and she runs off. Now we're at the Manitoba offices. They're all gathered there listening to tapes of this covert information they're getting. He goes, you hear Dale on it. Nancy, dearest, your smoker's
ravaged.
Your smoker's ravaged face is making me nauseous. Would you mind putting this Kroger bag over your head so I can make love to you?
Woo.
And then you just hear Nancy go, get out.
That's tough.
They stop
That's
the
tough.
tape, and Penland, or Robert Stack, says, "This man's an animal. The only person the jury is going to hate more than him is me." He's probably right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's Nancy, Hank, and Peggy at the Hills breakfast table, and Nancy's kind of confiding in them. She apparently has moved into their house now. She goes, I don't know how much more of this I can take when he's not coming up with a new way to tell me I'm ugly. He's talking about how much money he's going to make off my disfigurement. Peggy, of course, being Peggy, has to say, you're not disfigured. You're very pretty. Hank, tell her how pretty she is. Hank is very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. And then he says some very uncomfortable things after that.
He says, well, you got beautiful eyes and a great figure, and then Peggy, of course, steps in. That's more than enough, Hank.
Peggy's
that's more than enough.
Done.
Yeah,
she's like,
even though
"Shut
she
the hell
initiated
up,
it,
Hank."
she's still
It's a
like,
shitty Peggy moment overall.
Well, there's two in
Well,
this one,
it's like
but
a
yeah.
loaded gun. What
It
do I
is.
do? I
That's
say
it.
she's not pretty, or do I say she's pretty? Like
Yep.
either way, you're gonna get
Yep.
shot.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he took a
Catch-22.
bullet. There you go, Hank.
Luanne comes walking in, and you can tell Nancy just hates her because she's got this look on her
Yeah,
face.
she ain't
Hi,
pleased.
everybody. She looks at Nancy and goes, wow, Mrs. Gribble, you look terrible. Here, try this new moisturizing cream. I use it on days when I don't look my best. It's not even opened. What a backhanded insult compliment.
That's a terrible.
Oh, my God, that's rough.
That's terrible. That's rough.
All right, so the next thing we see is we're outside. Dale and Bill are watching in the alley. Nancy gets in her car. She is pissed. She peels out, takes off. Bill says, oh, she sure looks tired. Dale says, yeah, but still doable. What a dick this guy is. If I'm going to win this thing, I got to bump it up a notch. Okay, so now we've got
This
Dale.
is getting into some like
It is. It's getting bad.
some like criminal
It gets
activity
bad so
territory.
quickly. Yeah.
Just like everything up to this point was, detrimental. It was pretty awful. But this right here, now we're moving from just being a shit human being into criminal activity.
It is. And I'm going
Yeah,
to
this
tell
is
you a story after I
against
tell you this
the
thing.
law.
This is
Yeah,
something
this is
that happened
against
to me
the
when
law.
I was a kid that this reminds me of. Dale and Bill are sneaking around in Nancy's dresser, like in front of her big dressing mirror or whatever. And he goes, Nancy is highly allergic to lemon. Bill, hand me and Bill goes, lemon? And he's already got one in his hand. He goes, yes. And then they squeeze it into the face cream, which, by the way, is La Leche del Sol. So what is that? Milk of the sun?
Milk of the sun, yeah.
So putting stuff into other things, right? When I was a kid, 10, 12, something like that, still riding a bike, right? Used to ride up to the 7-Eleven, and they would have these coupons all the time where you got like a free Danish, or you got, $1 off your Hot and Go sub or whatever, which, by the way, those old 7-Eleven Hot and Go subs, those
Pretty
were
good.
the best damn thing in the world.
I had some 7-Eleven fried burritos yesterday.
See, this is before they had the rollers or anything
Yeah.
like that. It was all in a package, and you just microwave it.
They
right?
had microwaves.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
they were those giant ones that would kill your heart if you had a pacemaker.
I noticed that in our cafeteria downstairs.
Yeah.
It says caution microwaves in use.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why
Yeah.
would they have a sign that says caution?
Pacemakers.
It was probably the original microwaves
Yeah.
they used to
Yeah,
have in there.
pacemakers.
Yeah. The massive, they probably had to have like.
Plus, you got to remember this whole building is insurance and lawyers. So
Yeah.
any kind of sign they can put up to stop something,
They're gonna put a sign
to
up,
cover their
yeah.
ass. But anyway, at this time, this was the time when the guy was poisoning the Tylenol and killing people, right?
Oh.
So he would go into the places and with a needle inject poison into the Tylenol and then put it back on the shelf. People would take it and die or get real sick, one or the other. So I go up.
Did Tylenol pay out on that?
Well, it's the reason you have the little foil thing over it once you open it, and it's so hard to open now. That all came from that.
I got you. Yeah, because I guess you just pop it off and do that. You probably do 20.
Yeah,
of them
before there
anybody
wasn't
notices.
anything. You just open it,
That's
you're
awful.
done.
That's crazy.
And so I go to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I get my free Danish.
Okay.
Because I got a coupon.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty proud
They
of
got
myself.
a great coupon set up.
At 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they
their
do.
app. They do. They have
Do they
they have
now?
a phone app.
Yeah.
Wherever at the checkout, you put in a code or scan your phone. Or
I'll
whatever.
tell you this: McDonald's, my favorite app at this point because of
their
the
app's
points and
really
all the
good.
stuff. They
And
give
threw
you
a
free
4
shit
for
all the
$4
time.
on there too.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
they got a 4 for $4 on the app. If you download the app, you can't get it at the store. You got to do it on the app.
Yeah, you can eat out of that app for like $2 a day. I mean, it's
Easy.
It's a good deal. But anyway, I go in there and I eat my little Danish, And I think it's funny to then crumple up the wrapper, open up a jar of mayonnaise, stick it in there, and put the cap back on, and I put it back on the shelf.
Oh.
So the guy in there saw it, starts yelling at me, and goes, "I'm going to call the police." And so I run out real quick, get on my bicycle, and pedal as hard as I can, and pedal up and go back behind the Piggly Wiggly, right? Not a great plan because my grandmother worked at the Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, no.
And so everybody started looking for me. This was before cell phones and all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so finally somebody drove behind the Piggly Wiggly. There's my sorry ass sitting behind the Piggly Wiggly worrying I'm going to jail for the rest of my life.
Yeah, over a jar of mayo.
Yeah, over a jar of mayo. And my dad finds me. He takes me home, and I don't know that I've ever been yelled at so much, And I'm assuming it's because my father had to talk me out of actually getting arrested because everybody was so freaked out over the Tylenol stuff.
Yeah.
It was a really bad decision on my part.
Oh, so you
Just
did
letting
that.
you know.
So that you did that while the Tylenol.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I see why that would cause an uproar.
Oh, boy, people did not like that.
Yeah, my dad would have wore me out.
Woo, baby. Okay, so we see Nancy at her dressing table. She goes to put on some of the Milk of the Sun, and from the other room, you just hear, oh my God. And, of course, Dale is out in the front room in his underwear reading a paper, and he seems very satisfied that this thing has happened.
Yeah, no, he's
so
happy.
let's recap just real quick. Nancy needs a facelift because she's worried she's too old. Dale decides, I'll sue the cigarette company. The cigarette company resues him or countersues him, and he goes, okay, well, I need to make it really hard on them and think that my wife is really deteriorated because of all this smoke. And so he starts nagging her. Also, he has now poisoned this cream she uses because he knows it makes her face break out. That is rough.
Yeah.
That is rough.
That's terrible. Whew.
So anyway, she screams.
Sabotage.
Yeah, no shit. Calling all y'all, it's sabotage.
Sabotage.
So now we're at Channel 84. Nancy is doing the weather. She's in that blue dress with the boobs, but she's only doing it profile. You can only see one side of her face.
because one side of her face is gone.
Yeah, we don't know it yet, but yeah. She goes, and as we move west towards El Paso, watch out for high winds. So, ladies, if you've just done your hair, you better beware. So, she's all happy and everything. Over on the TV, the director is watching it backstage. Luanne walks up. And she goes, I just came to support Mrs. Gribble and give her some more makeups. Why is there an S on that? Nancy walks over. She sees Luanne and goes, you sabotaged my face. She says, what? She goes, look at me. She turns, and all I could think of was like Two-Face in Batman, right?
Yeah.
Because one side is just all broken out,
Tommy Lee
swollen,
Jones.
and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, it's rough. And you just hear, good God,
Or
from the director.
or what was the other one? Oh, Batman Returns.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Two-Face is always what I think of when I see stuff like that. Yeah,
isn't Two-Face Harvey Dent
with the coin?
Well, how come he's a bad guy in one movie but a good guy in the other then?
Because he was the DA.
So he
then,
I understand he was a good guy,
Yeah,
and then he turned into a bad guy after
he was a good DA.
The Joker melted half his face.
He was half his face was, I guess, half his body.
Half his body
was melted, and then that messed with his brain, and he turned to crime.
Oh,
So,
okay. I thought he did vigilante justice though, or is he a criminal?
No, he was just a criminal.
Okay, because I thought he flipped a coin for vigilante justice.
Well, he flips the coin to see whether you're going to live or die. That's basically what that is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not anything. It's not like chaotic good or nothing.
No,
yeah, he's
no.
definitely just chaotic bad.
And that's the thing with these guys with comic book heroes and villains and stuff. Their stories are not that complicated. You know,
really not. Yeah,
they're really not. Okay, so Nancy's upset. She's crying. Dale is at the house, and he's talking into the fish, of course. She's right next to him, just bawling on the couch. He goes, now Manitoba cigarettes have cost you your job too? Nancy goes, Tom, the station manager, said he didn't want to see my ugly face anymore. Dale says, so nobody wants to see your ugly face. And I mean, he is talking right into that fish. Like if anybody had any sense, they would know he's making all this stuff up. Nancy goes, that is it. I don't deserve this. You used to be a kind, loving man, and now you're a foul-mouthed monster. He goes, yeah, go on. She goes, "Don't you touch me. It's over. I am leaving you." And she runs off crying. Dale forces crying into the fish like that,
Yeah.
And he goes, "My horrifyingly grotesque wife is leaving me because of my," and he lights up a cigarette, smoking, and then he forces some more crying, and he starts dancing to the fish, singing it's "Don't Worry, Be Happy About Cigarettes."
Yeah, that's funny to me.
All right.
Don't worry. Yeah, be happy
Keep
now.
smoking.
Yeah.
All right, that's the second commercial break. We'll take that, and we'll be right back.
Ned Hillsdale, a hard-drinking, foul-mouthed ex-cop turned private detective in the city of Chicago. He lives dangerously, loves intensely, and drinks harder than anyone. The very things that got him kicked off the force now make him the city's best detective. Set against the low rumble of sad jazz and the hum of underground crime, Ned Hillsdale, Private Detective, is available anywhere you get your podcasts and at roguemedianetwork.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Tony, and some call me Big T.
And I'm Carrie, and we have some exciting news. We have a podcast.
Absolutely, it's called My Husband is a Hunka Burning Love.
No.
And we'll be discussing some different sex positions overweight couples can easily perform,
I
correct?
don't think so. It's called I Married an Idiot.
I know, I'm just kidding.
We'll try to stay on task, focus. Did you take your Adderall today?
Really? You're going to ask me that? Are you insinuating something?
Never mind. You may be wondering why we're doing this. We have been together for 36 years.
36 short, long
years.
freaking years. But we must be doing something right?
Well, we must be. But this is where the fun starts.
And you know me, I love having fun. Fun is the best thing to have.
Yes, it is. On our show, we're going to be discussing a wide variety of topics. And I'll give you my opinion, and you'll give your opinion. So please, do not embarrass me.
I'm not going to embarrass you. I told you 1,000 times, but you also need to learn to get some thicker skin if you're going to be doing this. And don't take everything so damn personal.
I know, but you get personal.
Anyway, it's up to you, not you, Carrie, but the podcastee listeners,
the
audience, to decide which one of us is the idiot.
It's going to be pretty obvious, trust me.
Absolutely, totally obvious. Was that a shot?
Of course not.
Okay, good. Just checking. So, you know, everybody has an opinion. It's like my daddy always said.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Well, it's true. An opinion is like an ass. Everyone has one, and some are bigger than others, or it went something like that.
Stop. Would you be nice? See what I mean? Tell them where we can be found.
Anywhere you get your podcast or roguemedianetwork.com. Just look up I Married an Idiot. Sit back, relax, and give us a try. I promise you it will be entertaining. And if you want to contact us, you can shoot us an email. Well, I don't seem to have the email at the moment. This is not good. I don't seem to have that at the moment, but we'll let you know, so stay tuned, and I promise you we'll let you know. Sorry.
Really?
Well.
But yes, eventually we'd love to hear your feedback. You can give us suggestions on what topic to cover, comment on our show or an episode, or just drop us a line to say hello.
Just remember, any negative feedback should be directed toward Carrie, and all positive feedback should go to me.
Wrong again.
Hey, babe, look, we got to go. Let's wrap this up.
Okay, just remember to tune in. It's going to be fun, and thanks for giving us a try.
Absolutely. Until next time, peace out. God dang.
I thought it went pretty good.
That went well, not.
Well, I thought it went okay.
Why didn't you tell me the email? Do we even have an email?
You said you were getting the email.
I did not. When did I say that?
You're such an idiot.
Oh, the hell with it.
All right, and we are back. We are in the alley, as we should be with all four guys. Hank says, Dale, I've tried real hard to stay out of your relationship, but your relationship just moved into my house and won't stop crying. Drop the suit and apologize before it's too late. Dale says, man, you are a little picture guy. Once I win and Nancy gets her facelift, everything will be as smooth as her new skin. Then we go to the next scene, and this is not something you see very often.
It's like a TV commercial, right?
Well, no, it's Dale and Bill in Bill's house together watching TV.
Oh yeah,
that doesn't happen very often.
Bill's living room is not something you see very often.
No.
Usually, when you see Bill's living room, it's usually some type of depressing situation.
Well, it was that Christmas thing, where he's rewrapped all those packages and he's had all that shit for years and years that he was hanging on to for Lenore.
Or that one episode where he was going to, I'm trying to find a nice way to say this. I guess kill himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a nice way to say that.
There isn't. No, there's really not.
I love the fact that his coffee table is one of those big wire spools.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He just
like
found it somewhere.
Anytime you see his living room area, there's usually some
rough.
desperate situation going on.
And he's got like this little 10-inch TV sitting on
he doesn't have a
spool.
very big TV.
And for some reason, all the lights are turned off, and both of them are eating beefaroni out
I just looking
a
back
can.
on it, I don't know how I ever watched TV on a TV that small.
Yeah.
Because I used to have, like you said, you had a little black and white TV. I grew up in the 90s, and I had a little black and white TV on my bedside table until I acquired a color one. But,
sure.
Man, I remember staying up late, and most of the stuff that was on late on Fox at that time was categorized as urban television. So it was like Martin in Living Color, Living Single. They would play in Living Color reruns at night, and they would play Martin and Living Single.
If you think about it, I had a 10-inch black and white TV on a TV tray next to my bed.
You got a 7-inch phone in your hand.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is almost as big as the TV,
and it's a widescreen too. You can see way more, and you get like 4K quality on that thing too. It's nuts.
This one I never hear the national anthem and see it log off.
But you know what's crazy about that though is anything you ever watched, you can pull up almost anything you've ever watched on there. There's some things that are out there that are obscure, but
so these two idiots are sitting in the dark, eating out of cans. Obviously, they're eating beefaroni. Yeah,
I don't even know what beefaroni is.
So
it was something I never experienced.
It's like Chef Boyardee, little noodles and fake meat and sauce.
Yeah, because my mom was she was, even though we weren't that well off all the time. When we were less fortunate at times.
Hamburger
Less
Helper?
fortunate. No, we never ate Hamburger Helper.
Wow. Okay.
Because she would make Hamburger Helper.
Yeah.
But it was never from a box.
She made her own.
She would buy hamburger meat in bulk. She would buy noodles in. It was cheaper.
Honestly,
it was
what I was
cheaper.
It's probably cheaper. Yeah.
So like we always got home cooked meals.
Yeah.
And then I would go to other people's houses, and I'm like, does your mom not know that frozen food's more expensive than like buying the actual food? I was like, I've been grocery shopping with my mom. I've seen how much she spends. I know that like your food stretches way more if you're actually cooking the food. Even box dinners are still.
Oh, absolutely true.
The box dinners
because
are even.
You're paying for the convenience.
Well, not even that now. I mean, I'm sure at a point, because there was a point when a lot of these companies were forming and stuff like that in the 30s and stuff, where the Great Depression is what helped a lot of companies with all this prepackaged stuff.
Yeah. Well, everybody coming back from the war.
Specifically candy, too.
Wives wanted to be great wives. They had this ideal thing going on. They could pull something out of the freezer that was all metal, by the way, at the time. It was all made out of tinfoil.
Yeah. Swanson's.
All
the original TV dinners.
Swanson's, Patio.
So all the kitchen gadgets came out in the 60s and 70s too.
Do you remember Patio frozen dinners?
No, I don't remember.
Those are the Mexican dinners, and they were pretty damn awful.
You know what's probably funny? They probably got bought by.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
They've probably been assumed into the whole TV
it's like
dinner
Twinkies
world.
and stuff like that. It's all bought
Bird's
by somebody
Eye.
else. A Bird's Eye.
He was the guy that invented flash freezing.
Really? The guy that did Bird's Eye?
Yeah, well, because he was.
Welcome to our flash frozen podcast.
Yeah, we keep talking about food. We have to start a food podcast.
It is 11:45.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's the guy that did. He came up with the method of flash freezing.
The guy that started
because
Bird's
you
Eye.
can't slowly freeze food.
No.
It's got to be frozen fast.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. If you want to be able to eat it again.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so they're singing along to this commercial. Beefaroni's a fun to eat. Beefaroni's really neat. Beefaroni's quite a treat. Hooray! Yippee for beefaroni! And then Bill breaks down. Like it's just there's no transition. He's like, yippee! That's it. He just goes straight to it. He goes, I can't take it anymore. Nancy's gone. She is gone, and it's breaking my heart. Now, again, this is Bill talking.
Bill's sad. He expects everybody to grieve the same way as he does.
Dale goes, she's coming back. He goes, no, she is not. You're living a lie. Obviously, it's about Lenore. She's never coming back. They never, ever do. You think they will, but they won't. And then Dale kicks in. Bill, you're scaring me. Weren't we just having fun? He goes, yes, believe me, I want you to get a divorce. That way you'll be here all the time. Secretly, I was happy your stupid plan backfired so that I wouldn't be alone anymore. But this isn't right. Go back to your wife. Here, take the money. And he just throws a bunch of money out of his wallet at him.
Yeah.
He goes, and go on, get out the door. Get out of here, get out. And throws his wallet at him. Dale leaves in a rush because he's like, oh, shit, maybe I screwed up here. You know, it takes Bill to tell you you've screwed up.
Well, I don't think Bill telling him. I don't think it's what Bill said. Oh. It's just Bill in general, because now he's looking at Bill like is this my future? It's like Mr. Scrooge or whatever.
Oh,
that's what he's like. Yeah. He's like looking at the ghost of Christmas past, and he's like,
Bill
is this
his
me?
Ghost of Christmas
is this you?
Future.
Yeah.
That's all right. So he runs out. Now Dale runs up to Hank's front door, starts ringing the doorbell, pounding on the door, ringing the doorbell, pounding on the door. I mean, just crazy. Hank finally opens the door. He goes, Hank, maybe I should talk to Nancy just for a moment. He says, no, she doesn't want to talk to you. You broke her heart, Dale. He goes, tell her I just want to tell her I'm sorry, and if she'll let me talk to her, I will tell her myself. Tell her. He keeps Dale from charging through the door.
Yeah.
He says, I will do my best, but it's not going to be an easy sell. He shuts the door, and from inside you hear, Nancy? And then Nancy says, make him go away. And then he literally just opens the door and goes, no good.
Yeah, no sale.
Yeah. And so Dale runs off. He is he's very dejected at this point.
Yeah, he's starting to feel a little Bill-like.
The next thing we see is him naked in the shower.
Yeah.
Curled up in a fetal position. All the water is starting to pool up, and his cigarettes are all floating in the water. But he's still got his damn hat on.
Still got his hat on.
He goes, she won't talk to me. What am I going to do? Wait, I know what I'm going to do. So he has a flash of inspiration here. So now we're at Manitoba again, and it's all the lawyers and Mr. Manitoba sitting around. He goes, all right, Brain Trust, the trial's tomorrow. Don't play patty cake with me. Could we lose this thing? The main lawyer says, we erased all the tapes so they can't hurt us, but the love affair between juries and tobacco companies has cooled. What love affair?
Yeah.
He goes, all right, can we lose this thing? The lawyer gets up, goes out the door, shuts it, and then speaks from behind the door and says, yes. And that's like he's so scared of this dude.
Yeah, he's terrified.
All right, now we're at Hank's breakfast table. I think this is hilarious. Nancy is sitting there. Hank is sitting there. Peggy's sitting there. Bobby comes walking in. He goes up to Nancy and says, are you Nancy Hicks Gribble? She goes, yes. He hands her papers and goes, it's a subpoena. And then he kind of walks away and goes over to his place. Nancy says, now Dale is dragging me into court to humiliate me publicly. And then Bobby says, I can't get involved. Good day, madam. And then he goes over and just sits down at the table. Like he doesn't go into another room or anything. He just sits down. Good day, madam. And by the way, who the hell ordered or hired Bobby to deliver papers to somebody? I mean, I guess it's Dale. But
yeah,
shit, Bobby? Really?
Bobby, yeah. I mean, Bobby's got to get paid too.
All right, now we're at the federal courthouse. This is going across the street at the federal courthouse.
Yep, at the feds.
Dale pulls up in the Bug-A-Bago. He gets out, and he is dressed top to bottom in Manitoba gear.
Yeah, Manitoba.
This reminds me a lot of when he got the new mower and all that stuff.
Mowered out.
Straight up, he's got all his Manitoba stuff on.
He's a gear guy.
He's
a
gear
brand
guy.
Man.
So you see Mr. Manitoba and all the lawyers up there, and you kind of overhear it's a legitimate offer. Why couldn't he just? And then Reynolds Penland sees Dale walking up the steps, and he goes, Mr. Gribble, I am Reynolds Penland. And I don't understand this joke, but it's funny. Dale says, wait, if you're here, who's that? And he points at Hank. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
He points at Hank. He goes, Gribble, I'm offering you the deal of the century, $75,000. In return, we accept no liability, and you keep your mouth shut. Boy, has that happened in real life a lot of times. Dale says, you have no idea what you're up against if you think I can begin to keep my mouth shut. He's very self-aware, at least.
Very,
right?
At least, yeah.
He goes, I don't want your chump change. I'm going for the big prize. And he goes into the courthouse. So now we're in the courtroom, and the different judge, says, Mr. Gribble, again, I say this not only as an officer of the court, but as a caring human being. Please do not represent yourself.
Please don't. Yeah. No.
Dale says, may I continue? He goes, well, legally, I can't stop you. And this is like almost 2 pages of Dale now. He is representing himself. So I want you to imagine he is the lawyer, and he asks himself questions, and then every time he does that, he runs over and gets on the stand to answer the questions. So it's back and forth, back and
hilarious.
forth. He goes, "Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Gribble, I hold in my hand People Magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People issue. Are you familiar with this Time Warner publication?" Well, that gives you a time frame when Time Warner still owned that.
Yeah.
He runs up onto the stand. He goes, no. And then he comes back down as a lawyer. He says, "May I remind you that you are under oath, and the subscription label on this magazine bears the name of your optometrist. I will ask."
He doesn't even have a magazine subscription.
He doesn't actually
steal
get
it out of waiting rooms.
Steals it from the high guy. He goes, "I will ask you again, are you familiar with this Time Warner publication?" He gets up at the stand again. He goes, "Possibly." And he gets back down. And the other lawyer is like, "Objection. How is this relevant?" Dale says, "Your Honor, I intend to establish the witness's impossibly high standard of beauty." The judge says, "I'll allow it, but I want to see where this is going. Sit still and get on with it." Dale says, "Thank you, Your Honor, Mr. Gribble. Referring to a page 16 in this magazine, can you identify the individual picture thereon?" Runs up to the stand. "Jennifer Aniston." Runs back down. "Do you or do you not find her beautiful?" Runs up to the stand. "The really hot girl next door?" "Yeah." "Beautiful?" "No." He gets back. He goes, "Page 19, Denise Richards." Then he runs back up onto the stand. "I cannot get past her wretched acting to see any beauty." "Mira Sorvino, Mina Savari, Chloe Savini." He gets back on the stand. "Speak English, please." He says, "Cindy Crawford." Again, back and forth.
Mole.
Lawyer stand. Cindy Crawford. And he just says,
"Mole."
Mole. Yeah. "Very well then. Julia Roberts." He says, "A horse is a horse, of course, of course." Yeah. He goes, "You are telling this court under oath that you find none of these women beautiful. Are you a homosexual?" And that's the other one that's a little problematic here. Yeah. Points to the empty chair. Then he runs around, gets in the chair, and goes, "No!" And runs back around. "You cannot have it both ways, Mr. Gribble. Either you are a homosexual or the most beautiful woman in the world is in this magazine. The most beautiful woman in the world is in this courtroom," Dale finally says. He points, and then it shows Peggy, and she thinks it's her, number one, which that's a very shitty moment, shitty Peggy moment. He goes, "No, not you, not you. The prettier woman next to you." And you see Nancy, and she's like incognito in a giant hat, big sunglasses, all that kind of stuff they try to hide from the paparazzi with. He goes, "The prettier woman next to you. Would the woman in the sunglasses and hat please remove her sunglasses and hat?" She takes them off. He goes, "Do you know this woman?" And he says, as the witness now, "This is my wife. She is my lover. She is the mother of my child. She is my raison d'etre." I don't know what that means. It's something in French. I think it's reason to live. And he says, "But is she beautiful?" Now the lawyer says, now where is he going with this?
Yeah,
he goes,
raison de vivre. Yeah, that's French.
Reason to live?
Reason to live, yeah.
He goes, "Your Honor, please direct the witness to answer the question." Talking about himself.
Yeah, it's nuts. This whole exchange and then the fact that it was played out in a court of law is insane.
The judge says, "Let me remind the witness and his attorney that the entire basis of his damage claim rests upon his wife's appearance. One of you answer the question." He says, "She is the most beautiful woman in the world to me, and I want her back more than anything." Now Nancy starts crying. He goes, "If anything, and this is stupid. I don't know when he does this. I owe Manitoba money for the loveliness of my secondhand smoke has bestowed upon my Nancy. She thinks she needs a facelift, but it couldn't be further from the truth." The lawyer immediately stands up and says, "Your Honor, the defense moves for dismissal." And the judge goes, "Case dismissed." He could have still walked away with some money.
All he had to do was take the money at the courthouse steps and tell Nancy all this stuff.
$75,000, and all he needed was $5.
That's all he needed was $5.
And
he could have got more if he would. He probably could have got more in court if he would have shut up too.
Could have put a gold bug on top of his bugabago.
Yeah. Well, if he would have shut up, he probably would have got more in court too. If he would have just kept playing the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
The judge says, "Case dismissed. Now all of you get the hell out of my courtroom." I mean, that's a lot.
Waste of taxpayers' dollars.
Dale talking to Nancy now. He goes, "I am so sorry, Nancy. I just wanted to make you believe you were ugly, so if you testified, you wouldn't have to lie." She goes, "Oh, that's so romantic." And then he picks her up and lifts her over the barrier, that separates the court from where people are sitting.
Yeah.
He goes, "It's romantic and cunning. I am the whole package. Will you forgive me?" And then they just both kiss.
That's it.
So everything's fixed. Now we're back at Channel 84. Nancy's doing the weather. She is not in the boob dress. She goes, cock-a-doodle-doo, Heimlich County, nothing but blue skies ahead. And then it pans over, and you see Dale and the director/news manager, whatever he is, signing a paper on Dale's back. And he goes, there, I signed your wife's new contract, and I said I was sorry. He goes, now, are you going to drop the age discrimination suit against the station? Dale says, not so fast, Hollywood. What's in it for me? He goes, what do you want? He goes, oh, I don't know.
I hadn't thought about it.
He wasn't even ready.
I don't even know what I want.
And then he just blurts out, file cabinet.
File cabinet. Yeah, all the things you could ask for. Ask for a file cabinet.
The guy goes, get him a file cabinet. He goes, oh, I should have asked for a weather chopper. You see the credits come up, and you hear Dale say, weather chopper and a file cabinet.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Credits roll. After the credits, we hear Luanne say, hug your babies tight.
Hug them babies tight.
And that's it.
That's a Monday episode for you guys.
They are back together. Everything's good in the world. And Dale continues to smoke Manitobas.
And he continues to smoke. He doesn't ever stop.
Everybody out there, we really appreciate you being here, whether you're watching us, whether you're listening to us. If you're watching us, I apologize for our appearance. I think that we've been doing pretty well. Our YouTube channel has really spiked. We've done really well with that.
Yeah, so if you're listening to us from YouTube, we appreciate all of it. I'll do a little shout out.
Well, and our content has started to just really increase. Because we've got some automatic stuff that gets posted now, but at least all of the episodes are there.
Yeah, all the episodes are now on YouTube. I think every episode that we didn't have on there before.
Yeah, I think they're all up there at this point.
Maybe, I'm not sure. No, I think season 3.
It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff.
I think season 3 needs to get
By the way,
once season 3 is on there, I think all seasons will be up.
By the way, there may be a couple of episodes missing from our feed for some reason, and I've yet to figure out why that is, but I will figure it out and replace those episodes.
Somebody had asked me about that.
I'll take care of that.
But yeah, so we've gotten over 100 subscribers in the last
That's great.
Last 28 days on YouTube.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of views.
That.
The watch time is decent. I appreciate you guys watching. It baffles me, but we appreciate every one of you, and thank you for still being here. Let me remind you that we do have a small Patreon. If you could go help us out there, we really appreciate it. It's just $3 a month. Helps us keep the lights on, keep the camera, buy new SD cards, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And also the video, remember, every Monday is on YouTube. This video, and then also this is on Spotify as video now. So take advantage of that if you want. If you don't want to break your phone, then that's great. I understand.
We also record every Monday episode, or not record, but we live stream every Monday episode.
That's right.
On Instagram, BWAAAKOTH on Instagram. We're live on Instagram right now. We won't be live when you hear this, though, so don't go jump over. But if you want to come check it out with us, it's usually on a Saturday or Sunday that we record. Turn your notifications on. You'll get a notification when we go live. And also, our Friday episode will be the first episode that we will stream on our YouTube page.
Yeah, I think we're going to try some video.
And we're
going
to try some video. We're going to try to start giving video. We're going to try to get all of our content up. We've got Friday episodes and stuff that we've got to try to get up there too. And bear with us because it'll be a little bit organized at the beginning as everything's uploading. But as soon as everything's done uploading, we'll categorize it and get it broken up for you and stuff. Because I started doing that already. Because there was I think Hank Trill episode was on it because I think we aired that a couple of times.
We did.
And I cleaned because somebody had mentioned it to me. They're like,
That's
"Why
good.
is there 3? Is it 3 separate interviews?" I'm like, "No, it's not 3 separate." So I went through and
every once in a while we need a
up.
break, so that's why we did it that way.
But so if you're live with us right now on Instagram, we're headed to YouTube. So
yeah, baby. All right, and you want to tell them where else they can find us?
You can find us at BWAAAKOTH.com, or you can find us at RogueMediaNetwork.com/BWAAAKOTH.
And that's it, guys. Thank you again for joining us for a Monday episode. We'll be back next week with Season 5, Episode 19.
Oui, Matanye.
Oui, Matanye, indeed. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.